and a few. We live in a century, we live on lies. It's time to tell the girls and we have to comply. We gonna pay reviews, we don't get reviews. Now we get broken and we fall into the news. But it's all the brothers and we gonna take a stand. Represent hope, represent the brand. We gonna take a brother and them all enemies. Every boy, every man. Let me, I just want to redeem my life slowly. Let me,
My people, good evening, good evening, good evening. I'm Michael Stewart, and this is Mike at Night. Nice having you all. Those of you who logged on already, I appreciate that. Rock and come in, my people. Rock and come in. Call your friends, tell them that Mike at Night is on, and we are doing something wonderful this evening. We are helping you to get your business going. I hope you're all hearing me. All right. So, we have a wonderful program lined up for you. Let me tell you, it is mistakes some women make in bed when it comes to the bedroom. We're not going to get too raunchy about the acts itself, but we're going to tell you some of the things that men find that women make some mistakes with, and I hope that you will appreciate it. Last week we did speak about the men. We spoke about the mistakes men make, and we come clean with that. But this time we're going it from a different angle now. Let me just say that I am transmitting from the beautiful twin island of St. Kitts and Nevis. We have had a wonderful time here with some great people. And boy, I tell you, these people, the Kittitians and Nevisians, are such hospitable people. And their food, nice. Yeah, can't blame them for that one at all. Yes, so we've had a wonderful time here. I've been here since last Saturday. And I'll be home. I'll be home by Saturday coming. Don't worry about that. But I just felt that we should still keep the mic and not broadcast, especially as we have to now deal with the mistakes some women make in bed. So, rock and come in, my people, and invite your friends to join us, because we are going to touch something that I'm hoping that it would help some of you all as we're going along. All right, so while we wait on some people to come in, let me just take one of our breaks. We have a program that is coming up next week that I want you to be aware of. And I tell you, I'm looking forward to this program next week. We're going to have somebody on who will be able to help us to unravel some of the challenges that we have when it comes to fathers, relationship, custody, and so on. All right, so look out for that one coming up. Yep, so here it is.
Fathers, have you ever wondered your rights pertaining to your children? Don't allow mothers to have complete control of your children. I am Arista Kwaku, and I will be a featured speaker on the Mike at Night radio talk show, a show dedicated to shaping the men and boys within our society and the Caribbean by extension. Join us on Thursday, the 3rd of April 2025 at 8 p.m. as I ascertain legal issues pertaining to fathers taking back their power within their children's lives. Positive father influence is important in the homes for turning young boys into responsible men.
Yeah, you heard it. Quite an intelligent young lady, Miss Kwaku. I'm looking forward to her. I am very pleased at having her on the program. One, because she's young. Two, because as a woman she'll be able to give some perspective. And three, because she understands law. And so we'll be able to chat with her on that. Okay, my people, let's see who's online now before we get into the program. Kenneth Hodge, well, you didn't have to call me today, Kenneth, because I try hard to make sure I log in on time and early, and did checks earlier today, went online, did my checks and so on. So I look as though we come out good. Heather Atkins, good evening to you. Rock and come in, my dear Charmaine, nice having you on. Lyndon, great. Lyndon Joviel. If you have not subscribed to the YouTube or the Facebook page, please do so. It helps us. it is for our own program to be able to see and track those who are following us and so on. So do that for me, please. If you could just take a little while now just to go and like and subscribe, both on the Facebook and on the YouTube. Or if you're on YouTube, then please make sure you subscribe. Okay, all right. So, we started something just before we get into the topic tonight, while we're waiting on other people to join. We started something that we spoke about, what do you think? And I saw an interesting session that I wanted to hear what you all think. All right? So let's see if you could tell me quickly what you think. Just listen to the video and then post on the page what you think. And if you wish, you may call in. And the number is 868. You WhatsApp. 868-480-0080. 868-480-0080. Do not call me. I do not want to pay roaming.
Do you have any kids?
3 kids.
How old are your kids?
19, 14, and 2.
How old are you, Nisha?
I'll be 40 next month.
Okay. Do your kids have the same father?
3 fathers.
Right now, where's your 2-year-old dad?
I have to write a book to explain that.
Give me a break. Give me one chapter.
A narcissist.
What's the deal breakers?
Deal breakers are multiple baby mothers, more than 2, 3 kids.
Wait, hold on, Misha. And I say this with all due respect. You have 3 baby daddies.
But my kids are grown. My
But you
children are
got
also
3
grown.
baby daddies, so why can't he have multiple baby mamas?
Okay, so young baby mamas. Young kids, young baby mamas.
So we got 3 baby mamas, but they just can't be young?
They can't be young kids. No.
So it's about the kids, not about the amount of baby mamas.
Both. I don't want no young kids. No multiple baby mamas with young kids.
How long baby mamas gotta be?
No, not the baby mamas. Baby mamas are adults, I'm assuming. No man with young kids. And
Well, that's
multiple
why I
baby
said
mamas.
no. I get that, but you said not multiple baby mamas, and that's why I said you have 3 baby daddies. So you don't care how many baby mamas he has.
Right, meaning no, like I said, no more. I have 3 baby daddies, so no more than what I have.
You sure about that?
All right. Tell me what you all think. She has 3 children for 3 different baby dads. Her deal breaker with any man that she goes with, he must not have kids. He must not have kids with different mothers, etc. What do you all think? Tell me what you think. Come inside of here. I know I have some balanced, level-headed thinkers inside of here. You all share with me. What do you all think? Huh? Do you all agree with her? Her deal breaker is that she does not want a man who comes in with children, does not want a man who comes in with different children for different women. She herself has 3 children for 3 different men. All right? So I'm waiting on your feedback. All right.
Do you have any kids?
3 kids.
How old are your kids?
19, 14, and 2.
How old are you, Nisha?
I'll be 40 next month.
Okay. Do your kids have the same father?
3 fathers.
Right now, where's your 2-year-old dad?
I have to write a book to explain that to you.
Give me a paraphrase. Give me one chapter.
A narcissist.
What's the deal breakers?
Deal breakers are multiple baby mothers, more than 2, 3 kids.
Wait, hold on, Misha. And I say this with all due respect. You have 3 baby daddies.
But my kids are grown. My
But you
children
still
are
got
also
3
grown.
baby daddies, so why can't he have multiple baby mamas?
Okay, so young baby mamas, young kids, young baby mamas.
So we got 3 baby mamas, but they just can't be young.
They can't be young kids. No,
So
no.
it's about the kids, not about the amount of baby mamas.
Both. I don't want no young kids, no multiple baby mamas with young kids.
How old baby mamas gotta be?
No, not the baby mamas. The baby mamas are adults, I'm assuming. No man with young kids. And
Well, that's why I
multiple
said
baby
because
mamas.
no, I get that, but you said not multiple baby mamas, and that's why I said you have 3 baby daddies. So you don't care how many baby mamas he has.
Right. Meaning no, like I said, no more. I have 3 baby daddies, so no more than what I have.
You sure about that? Let's play it back.
2 deal breakers.
Deal breakers are multiple baby mothers, more than 2, 3 kids, no more than what I have.
That's
3.
multiple.
No more than, well, yeah, and there's men out there with more than that. So that's my max.
Oh, you told me that you said no young kids, but you got a 2-year-old.
I do have a 2-year-old.
So why can't he have a young kid?
Because there's only room for one young kid. I don't want to deal with the young baby mom.
So you don't want to date yourself. So if you was a man, you wouldn't date you.
If I was, yeah, I would date me.
Well, you have a 2-year-old, but you're saying if a guy had a 2-year-old, you wouldn't date him. So the things that you have, you wouldn't date.
As a man, for a man, yes.
So if you were a man with your resume, you wouldn't date yourself.
Probably not.
So, but you want a man to date you.
Absolutely.
KG, she want better for herself than herself. That's what you gotta understand. It's okay. I get what she was saying. It's okay to want better for yourself than yourself.
But what does that even mean, Zach?
Why would I want myself when I can get better than myself? She want better than herself. She know her. She know her. She said it's only room for one baby. The one I already got. I understood you, baby. You should have called me.
Well. What a thing. Let me hear what all you saying now. All you give me the benefit of your opinion on it. Let me see who's online. Good evening, Candice. Alexander, nice having you. Edwin Tulsi, good evening. Maudlin Pierre, nice having you. Sandra Jack. Kenneth said, do so, do want so. Well, do so, not like so. That is what the old people used to say, Kenneth. Charmaine Boy says she wants to have a cake and eat it too with ice cream. I used to have a Professor Rex Nettleford, a deceased lecturer at UWI in Mona campus, Jamaica, when I was studying there. He used to say, you can't eat your cake and cut your calories. All right. Lyndon said her head is probably shaking. Good evening, my dear sister. Rock and come in. Good evening. But I tell you, clearly that some people just don't know what they want, not taking accountability of themselves, always know what standards everybody else is supposed to hold to, but don't know what standards they must hold to. She has 3 children, 3 different fathers, but says she does not want to settle, does not want to negotiate. Her deal breaker is if a man is in that same situation, that he has children for other people. And when they ask whether she will settle for a man, if she were a man, would she settle for a woman who has 3 children for 3 baby daddies? She says yes. So her issue is, if she was a man, she would not settle for a man who has more than the 3 baby daddies if she were a man. But as a woman, she doesn't want it. Somebody said, make sense of that. I can't make sense of it, but I wanted to hear what you think. So I appreciate you all sharing what you think. All right, so let's go now to the matter of hand, the whole issue about the mistakes women make in bed. I want to take it from an article that was written in Women's Health Guide, and it's a 2011 article by Louise Chang, a medical doctor, and written by Lisa Zamoski and reviewed, because some of these are peer-reviewed articles by Louise Chang, who is a medical doctor. And they say that when it comes to sex is somewhat is a humdrum, she said, where it is almost like a mental challenge in the bedroom for many people. So sex is not necessarily going good, but the question is, why is it not going good? And she's saying that there are some mistakes that some men make. Well, some women, her article is on the women, last week we dealt with the one with the men. Some mistakes that some women make. And she says these happen to be among them. Number one, not that this is the most important, but this is the first one she's written on, where some women do not initiate sex with their spouse. May I say that on behalf of the fraternity of men, I will give Miss Chang pips for that number one. In fact, even though it is written one, it should be probably number one. One of the things that I think frustrates men is where you're in a relationship with a woman and she thinks that you must always come and always ask for it. She's not asking and she's not seeming to approach and initiate, and she thinks that's cool. But she wants to feel desired. She wants to feel as though the man is attracted to her. But do you know that men want to feel as though they're still desirable and attractive to his woman? That she wants it, that she feels for it? One of the things that may be very depressing for men is men who in a relationship with a woman and he feels that the woman does not desire him. And she's highlighting this and saying that this is one of the major mistakes that women make. So a woman may approach a woman a number of times to ask her for sex because she's not initiating. But in some of those times, he has to take the dejection and rejection. But when a woman approaches a man, some women, when they approach a man and the man says no, he doesn't feel like it, he's tired, let me do this next time, and so on, sometimes she feels offended and tells herself, I'm not going to approach him anymore. So she says that this thing is one of the things that women need to overcome because they don't want to appear pushy, she says, or come on too strong, or fear being labeled as an aggressive woman. And according to, she quoted Professor Peru in the Seattle Pacific University. This professor wrote a book called Crazy Good Sex, where failing to initiate sex is one of the biggest mistakes women make, according to that professor. And if I have men in the house, all you answer me, man, and tell me whether the lady is right. She said most guys feel like they are always the initiator, and that sets them up for what she called disequilibrium in the passion scale in relationships, which means it does not give balance in this passion event in the relationship. So generally, men want to be pursued by their partners just as much as women do. I tell you, nothing turns on a man as a woman telling a man, I want you, I feel for you, I long for you, oh, I couldn't wait to have you. But to behave as though when the man asks, he is literally begging and you're giving him a favor, go ahead, take it. I don't feel like it tonight, and so on. After all, after a certain time of that, now you're going to lose him. So she says, holding on to outdated ideas about the sex roles because we thought our grandparents didn't like it. We thought that our grandmother, it was just natural for her to just allow things to happen. For those of our grandmothers who shared with us how they felt. It is said that they used to think that women are less interested in sexual activity. Well, clearly that's not happening today because now you have women actually praising their body count. So that ain't again. So they don't want that anymore. And they think that a woman are really not interested in sex as much as men. And we find out that that also is not true. Why do I say so? When you look at the number of men in relationships with women and the number of the matters that have gone to court for claims of the child not being his, and the DNA proving that with all the sex he was having, the children still end up not being his. Sometimes 2 and 3 of the children not his. Then it can't be a woman who just does not want sex, and she can't be raped that often. It does mean that it appears that a lot of women do like sex, do want sex, but sometimes they pretend as though they don't want sex. And when you're in a relationship with a partner, when you're in a committed relationship with your wife, it is hard for a man, it is hard for a husband to accept the fact that his wife does not appear to want sex. So therefore, one of the ways to counter that is for her to initiate the sex. All right? So, as we're going along, you all give me your feedback. I'm always happy to read what you all have to say. So let me see what is being said online. Something wrong not getting back in. What Lyndon means by he not getting back in? Did the thing shut down? Okay, the mistakes. I don't know, it probably might be, as I said, I'm out of the country, so it might be that the internet is not robust enough to be able to give you smooth transmission. Alright? Ken Hodge says, what if the man's children's mother have all dead, strange as it seems, it happens. I'm not too sure what Ken Hodge is referring to. All right. So that's number one, that the goodly doctor is saying, women who do not initiate sex, men find that that's a big mistake they make in the bedroom. Second mistake, when women worry about how they look, about what they look like, she says, no, men are not interested in all of that. You might put on a little size, you might be a little fat and so on. Yes, when you go down the road and so on, he like you looking a certain way and so on. But in the bed, you ask most men in the bed, your size and all of those issues that you study about, the size of your stomach and your legs and all of that, isn't something that he's really bothered about at that point in time. This is what she says. So, she says, thinking about how you look during sex stops you from enjoying it, and you are so preoccupied with it that sometimes these women do not reach a climax because they are too preoccupied with how they look. Don't get carried away with it. Do not get carried away with your looks. The preoccupation with the looks and the amount of money people pay to change their shape, change their look, put on Botox, expand their breasts and so on, and they're doing it. They say it's not to attract men, some of them say, but I don't know who they're trying to attract. But that's not what men really care about. You see? And this doctor who wrote the article says men want their wives to abandon themselves in sex play. They want the women to lose themselves. And you can't do that if you're preoccupied with your body. That's what it says. So they said, don't think about your fat on your belly or the makeup on your face. You're coming to bed with makeup. Concentrate on the pleasure that's going to take place. And then you'll give yourself permission to have the orgasm. And a lot of people can't have it because they're too self-conscious. And that doesn't help you. That doesn't help you in bed. Okay, ma'am? All right. All right. It seems as though some people had a little trouble and jumped off. So that's number 2. That self-consciousness, they said you need to get on. So they quote from another book written by Helen Fisher, PhD, anthropologist at the University of Rutgers, I think it is that they pronounce it. And this doctor wrote this book, Why Him, Why Her? And she says that men don't notice half the things women obsess themselves about anyway. Another big plus there. And these are women writing it, and these are women who seem to understand men. Half the things women they are obsessing themselves about. Men don't care. Why are you obsessing yourself about it? And the things that he is really interested in, you're not giving attention to. That is what they said men don't like. Okay? So, follow along because it's going to help many of you all. And if, by the way, you all need any kind of counseling, we did say, and we often tell you, that counseling is always available. Yes, it's always available. All you need to do is call the telephone numbers, and we do online, private, confidential, and we do face-to-face. So make sure you avail yourself of the information. All right? The number is on the screen. It's scrolling across the screen. You will see it. And if you wish to call in, you may call in on WhatsApp and let's talk. If you agree, if you don't agree, if you have something to add, you can do that. All right? Okay, let me see if there's anybody else making any other comment there. All right, it doesn't seem as though we have any new comments online. Okay, so let's go to it's what, 8:29 now. Let me just take a break. We go to a commercial break and we'll be right back.
Fathers, have you ever wondered your rights pertaining to your children? Don't allow mothers to have complete control of your children. I am Arista Kwaku, and I will be a featured speaker on the Nite at Night radio talk show, a show dedicated to shaping the men and boys within our society and the Caribbean by extension. Join us on Thursday, the 3rd of April 2025 at 8 p.m. as I ascertain legal issues pertaining to fathers taking back their power within their children's lives. Positive father influence is important in the homes for turning young boys into responsible men.
Yep, that's Arista Kwaku, intelligent young lady that we're going to have on the program next week. So bring your questions If she cannot answer them on the program, because sometimes some people need to prepare some of this information and she wants to give it accurate, then she's most likely going to take it down and she's going to find a way for us to answer it either on another program, or we're going to broadcast it if we're going to have the next program and she's not going to be on. But we're going to make sure that you get the answers. All right? So we're looking forward to that. That's a new segment that we're having on. And let me see. My boy Lawrence Flement, you start behaving like them wayward boys, You're breaking beach. Now you're walking in my class, Lawrence, man. You are a fella, you always on time. What is happening these days? You say I'm late, but I keep the date. Ah, boy. You think you could tell a lady that if you take it over a date? You're late. I'm late, but I keep the date. You're lucky I reach. Pamela, sometimes it's because of infidelity. It causes insecurity, knowing the other woman is prettier, younger, and sexier than you. All right. So Pamela raises something quite interesting and real, that sometimes the issue is sometimes when a woman has had a relationship in which the man may have been unfaithful, and I suspect this is where Pamela is going, that he may have been unfaithful, she begins to have insecurity issues, thinking that probably this other woman is prettier, sometimes this other woman is younger, she's sexier, she has something given him that she can't give him, she might make better love to him than anything else, and so that creates its own issues when she's now making love to the man. Very, very pertinent, Miss Pamela. But if you speak to most men, some men are married to some wonderful women, some lovely, charming, beautiful women. Those aren't the issues that the man is, The woman may be preoccupied with that, and that is what the doctor was saying, that some women are preoccupied with things that men have no care about. But you may find that this nice, darling, sweet wife that you are with might be a bit masculine, might be a bit hostile, might be a bit abrasive in her answers, in her dealings with the man and so on. And he chooses a woman who may be less comely than his own wife, but because she brings peace into his world, whereas his wife may bring tension and irritability in the world. So it has nothing to do with the looks. It has to do more with what the man experiences in the relationship. You got me? I hope that helped to explain to a lot of women and a lot of men some of the things inside of it. A man runs from war, hostility, disrespect. So he will find solace in somebody who gives him that calm, peace, and endearment and loving atmosphere. Keep that in mind. Kenneth Hart said in many instances the concerns are one-sided. Which side is it leaning to, Kenneth? Share with us. Sherry-Ann Jerry. Good night, Sherry-Ann. Good to see you. Rock and come in, take a seat. Don't disturb the class. All right, class is in session. Charmin Boy says, but he is the one married the hostile woman. I can't fault you with that statement, Charmin, because it's the man who does run down the woman. So he ran down a woman who is hostile. So he has to take responsibility for that. I agree with you. I ain't going to argue with that, you on that one, madam. Okay, so how many have we cleared so far? Have we finished the second one? The first one is a woman who does not initiate sex in bed. 2, a woman who is worrying about how she looks rather than trying to please the man in bed. He would rather you please him in bed than studying the fact that you have too much fat on your belly. So don't make that an issue. And the one that we're on is the one about how she looks. And the person quotes Fisher. Fisher is the author of the book Why Him, Why Her. And Fisher says there's an evolutionary explanation for the selective blindness men show to the woman's physical flaws. Let me say that again. Fisher is suggesting evolution, history, over time, there's an explanation for what she calls the selective blindness. That a man is blind, but he's not always blind. He's selectively blind. And he's selectively blind to the physical flaws of his woman. And let me tell you, most times a man is selectively blind to the physical flaws of the woman when he's making love. Most times. So he said this Darwinian reason says that men are unconsciously looking for women who are able to bear healthy babies. This is the explanation she's giving. So, starting millions of years ago, men who attracted fertile women and had a lot of children lived long. Those who could not attract those type of fertile women died early. I wonder why men are dead so early these days, boy. Anyway, although maybe not as necessary today, Fisher says the primal survival mechanism lives on, which means he wants a healthy woman. He wants a woman who is also fertile. So he's going to be going towards sex. Naturally, he homes in on having sex, because sex is what brings the fertility, brings the children, etc. And men are much more attracted to women who show signs of health, youth, and fertility. Rather than worry about the shape of your waist, Fisher says, and the size of your hips, and be studying to put on eyelash, and to be putting on an extra butt, he says, worry about your energy level, and the enthusiasm and interest in the man. Is a woman saying so, eh? I had nothing to do with what she said. Ken Hud says both parties. I'm not too sure what if he is referring to Charmaine saying that is the man who run after the woman. The man is the one who pursues most times, and the woman is the one who accepts the pursuit. So yes, if that is what you're saying, Hud, that both parties, the man chose the hostile woman, and the woman chose that type of man. He pursued the hostile woman, and the woman accepted him into her life, and both of them make what we call mutual mistakes. Sandra Dax says sometimes the woman wasn't hostile to begin with, but circumstances and unhappiness caused the change. All right, I gotta take that. Sandra, because a lot of women are living in frustration and have been through a lot, and so they just exhibiting that kind of negative that they're going through. All right, 868, my people, 480-0080. If you want private counseling, or if you want to call in on the WhatsApp, you may. Let's get it going. All right, let me see where we are at now. We're talking about mistake number 3, where women assume that sex is casual for a man. Where women assume that sex is casual, it's not serious, it is not anything committed, and so on. And I know that some women think so, that men just want to get their rocks off, and that has some truth in it. But let me tell you, from what this goodly doctor is saying, she Wisema believes we should all let go of old-fashioned notions, and this notion is that women are not sexual, or that sex is just sex for men. Because for some men, sex is a very important thing, so we can't minimize it. And because it is important, it is serious to men. And it is so serious that if a man is with a woman and she's having sex with another man, he takes that dead serious. But you will say, but and men does cheat? Yes, men cheat. But he takes his sex very serious, and his sex with his woman very seriously. Now it's almost an oxymoron, So I don't want to support the multiple sex partners issue, just as how we don't support it with the women. We would not want to support it with the men. But the lady is saying, Ms. Pearl, in this research, she said the research supports the idea that both men and women find sexual intimacy in the context of a committed relationship to be more satisfying. Let me say that one more time, and let me say it slowly. The research, says Ms. Pearl, supports the idea that, this is a church idea here, supports the idea that both men and women find sexual intimacy in the context of a committed relationship to be more satisfying. I have heard people boast about their sexual exploits and how much they're enjoying it and getting it from different people and so on. But I've also been around long enough to hear them talk about how they're feeling dirty. And I'm talking about both men and women. Where a man says, listen, I think I given this up, because it's as though you have no feeling again for the thing. It's as though it makes a man numb. And I heard women say that they feel used and they realize that they messed up their life with so many different partners, etc. So therefore, what Miss Lady is saying, Miss Fisher is saying, is true. It is more satisfying in a committed relationship. So many research studies make it clear that the people who have the best quality and most frequent sex are married couples. Yeah? And she concludes that says a lot about the inadequacies of casual sex. But we have a mission by some people, particularly by some women, to try to encourage women to think that they're becoming liberated if they have as many partners as possible. There's the one that I want to bring for you to ask you what you think. Where this, well, I don't want to give it away. But anyway, but you know what I'm talking about. Where they're teaching some of these girls that it's your body, do with it what you want, be as liberated as you want, and so on. And now they have a set of sexual partners. But what does it do for the psyche of the person? So that casual sex that some women are going after, she's saying men don't support that. But I also didn't see her saying, from the standpoint of men, that men should not be supporting the casual distribution of sex either. Anyway, in a study being conducted by her and her colleagues in the university engage in one-night stands. These are the one-night stands. You know what the one-night stand is? You stand up one night. Anyway, so they say the numbers show that men are just as serious about sex and relationships as women. That's what her study says. In fact, more than 50% of women, listen to it, more than 50% of women and more than 52% of men who went into a one-night stand reported that they did so hoping to create a longer relationship. You know what that is saying? And I don't know if I know that this is actually correct in the context of our space. If 52% of women and 50% of women, and 52% of men who went into one-night stand, so more men went into a one-night stand than women by 2%. But the men and the women reported that they did not, it did not create in the relationship what they expected. 1/3 of them actually seem not to have appreciated the one-night stand. But they expected for it to create a longer relationship than just a one-night stand. 52% more men expected a longer relationship than just a one night stand than the women. The women, 50% of them, only 50% of them expected a one night stand to be longer. Right? So, what she concludes is never assume that a man is not romantic. Two huge mistakes in this culture are that women are not sexual and that men are not as romantic as women. What do you all think? Darlene English, hello. Frida, hello. You all coming in late in the class. Take a seat in the back. Lawrence, most instances some women bring their own perils to themselves with unhealthy man manners. I feel you there, Lawrence. I feel you there. Charmaine, sometimes men can be cruel to the spouse and compare them to other women. Alright, I gotta take that, Charmaine. I ain't gonna deny that one. And I think she was responding to Sandra, who says that some of the circumstances is what caused a man to behave the way he behaved. Cause a woman to behave hostile the way she does. Alright, well, you see, I tell you all giving some fair responses, you know. I ain't see you all being biased with it, you all calling it as you see. Appreciate that. Okay, so alright, so we could go back now. Alright, those who are on for the first time, welcome. Alright, so let me see now. As we continue, we're going on to number 4. Mistakes. Some women believe that believing that they are always up to sex. So she says, sure, most teenage boys are ready and willing, but about any time you ask, but not true for men. When it comes to a man, while a teenage boy might figure he always up for sex, not all the time an adult man is always up for sex, you know. Sometimes he might pretend, but he ain't always up to it. And as he gets older, he might not be so up to it in the first place. So when you take the pressures of life and you take family, you take his work, you take his bills, etc., all of that begins to affect a man's sex drive, his libido. So he has so many things he's grappling with now. This is not the 17-year-old, 18-year-old boy that all he's looking for is just to be able to ease himself off of a next situation. This is a man who has to pay mortgage. This is a man who has to go to work and has to work extra hours. This is a man who has to study. How is he going to maintain a family, etc.? So that is going to have its own debilitating impact on his sex life. So, when a woman thinks that he's always up, and so therefore those who initiate get turned down, they may take it personally. And sometimes they don't initiate, but they recognize that the man is not coming again for a long period of time. And so she begins to feel he either has another woman or he's no longer interested in him. But what she's saying, that this is a mistake that sometimes women make. Right? So she said, don't take this thing personally. And she said it comes out as a shock to women that they don't believe it. She says about the reaction many women have when their partner says they aren't in the mood. They know themselves that they are not always interested in sex. She as the woman. But they still love the man. But when they discover he doesn't want to have sex, they think he doesn't love me. You understand the difference? What she's saying is that a woman would say, no, I don't want to have sex, but she still loves the man. But when the man turns her down, she interprets that to mean that he doesn't love her anymore. And she says that is not true. That's a mistake. He just doesn't want to have sex. Either at this time or with you at this time. Are you get that? All right. What are you saying online then? I read all the comments already? All right. Remember, post your comments, people. All right, how many more do I have to give you? All right, let me give you 2 more and then we call that a day. Mistake number 5. Before I go to mistake number 5, let me go back. I want you all to get this program coming up.
Fathers, have you ever wondered your rights pertaining to your children? Don't allow mothers to have complete control of your children. I am Arista Kwaku, and I will be a featured speaker on the Mike at Night radio talk show, a show dedicated to shaping the men and boys within our society and the Caribbean by extension. Join us on Thursday, the 3rd of April 2025 at 8 p.m. as I ascertain legal issues pertaining to fathers taking back their power within their children's lives. Positive father influence is important in the homes for turning young boys into responsible men.
There you heard Arista Kwaku. Going to be on with us next week. Don't miss that one, my people. Don't miss that one. Whether or not you have children, you lock in because it's going to help you. All right, so welcome back to Mike at Night. And let me see what is it that Lawrence sent me here. Lawrence says, all those responsibilities bring on stress on most matured men, and then to cope with a stubborn spouse, create relationship issues. All right, I got to take that. Makes sense? So this is why when he has to now deal with all those issues and then come home and there's tension and quarrel and silence and passive-aggressive behavior, that ain't easy. And so it's hard for him to get hard because he had too much dealing with. All right? All right, so let me give you the last 2 here now. So, we're on to number 5. Number 5 says, the mistake that women make in bed is that they do not give the man guidance. So, guidance is that sometimes there are some women, because there are some women very vociferous, very outspoken, and very frank with what they want. They will tell you, I want you to do this, I like this, when last we do that, they are okay with that. But there are some women who say nothing. They don't enjoy it, but they don't even say they don't enjoy it. So you have no idea. But all the time, they are upset, frustrated, squirming, some crying, some trying to evade coming to bed, all because they are not being satisfied and they're not saying anything. They're not giving guidance. So, talking directly about sex, and that also comes from the quality of the relationship, the openness of the relationship, to be able to talk things that couples should be sharing and should be talking about. But when you don't have that you can't say it, and if you have to say it, you have to say it with an insult. You have to say it as though you're embarrassing the person. That is the next thing. So too far east is west. So you can't overdo something. So she says it's the way you say it that has to be achieved. Right? So a woman must take responsibility for her sexual encounter, says Miss Wise Meyer. Alright? Hear what she says. A woman has to take responsibility when she gets into the bed for her own encounter, her own enjoyment. Don't put that on the man. How? We hear men get blamed for so much that thing. We even get blamed in bed for not making her enjoy it, when she's doing nothing on her own to try and enjoy it. Alright? She says, this is a woman saying it. No man can bring a woman to orgasm if she doesn't take responsibility for her own sexual experience. You're not putting yourself inside of there. Some people just lie down. Some people just there and expect all of a sudden all kinds of explosion to take place, fireworks to take place, and they have been doing nothing in the process. And the man working hard, tired, just to get a movement. So she says, even the best lover can't know what she needs without letting him know. The best man could be as nice as they want, as long as she does not indicate, even if it's not by words, but by gestures and by taking his hand and putting it where she wants it, taking his head, put it where he wants it, and so on, and doing things so that... All you put the children to bed, by the way. I hope so, you know. All you don't set me up. Alright. Charmaine, what do you know about 5 cent, 10 cent dollar? Charmaine says someone won the dollar wine. Charmaine, let your pastor hear you. You go ahead, Charmaine. You must let your pastor read some of the things you're writing on people's program. Sandra Jack says, a woman really stubborn and like their own way. Alright? Well, you said that. Ay. Okay. Nice. So, according to Miss Lady, all the help out the men now. Don't put the responsibility on him to make you come and bad talk him and say the man not good, I doesn't enjoy it. He just come and enjoy himself, and then after that he just go and lie down, and I get frustrated. What were you doing? Making yourself available? No, that is self-service. That is for gas station. You need to do something. Faith without works is dead. Get to work. Anyway, she says that men very much want to please women. Thank you, Miss Fisher. I appreciate that, Miss Fisher. You're talking well on behalf of the men. She said, if you can tell them in a way, listen to me, listen people, I read in verbatim from Dr. Fisher. If you can tell a man in a way that doesn't kill his ego, he will appreciate it. So some people say that they don't want to talk to the man because he little sensitive. Sometimes it's what you say and how you say it and how you make the man feel. But if you could say it in a way that does not injure his ego. She advises women to sandwich what they don't like in between 5 things they do. So everything that you don't like, think of 5 things that you like about the man. So by that what she means, sandwiching what you don't like between 5 things that you do. It means tell him, I like how, when you pass your mouth, I like when you touch me, and I like when you... She said, get 5 of that. In between the 5, drop one of the things that you don't like, or that you think you could do without, or something that you think it could improve on. So when you give him 3, say, this next one, I doesn't like that so much, so I could do without that. But I like this. Sandwich 1 between 5. 1 bad or 1 thing that you don't like between 5. But for heaven's sake, there are some men, all they hear is what they're not doing good, how they're not performing well and so on. But all there are times that you enjoy it and you don't say a word. This is what the lady is saying. She says, men do listen, particularly if you are quite clear about what you say. Ah, boy. Hey, these are some women who will understand some men. Thank God for them. Thank God for them. The rest of them, oh my goodness. Anyway, mistake number 6. Hey, we down to the hour. Let me just give this final one here. Mistake number 6. Madam Fisher said, when a man suggests something new in bed, some women get ratted. They get upset. So she says, after a couple has been together for a while, things get little routine, mundane, same position, same way it is done, same length of time. So sometimes a man wants to change it up a bit. Want to change the position, change the space, the place where it is taking place, etc. And she said that just because your man wants to try something new doesn't mean that he's unhappy. He's not unhappy with you. He's not unhappy with his sex life with you. So she says, do not take it personally. I like this lady. Still, it's important that you tune into your comfort zone. What is it you are comfortable with? Which means, just because you want something eccentric, out of the norm. Let's say you want back shot. You don't like back shot. Doesn't mean that you have to give him it. Anyway, by the way, the High Court just say that that's illegal now. Even with a man and a woman, even if they're married, even if you're in private. So, I'll give up that because it's 5 years in jail. It come down from 25 years, now 5 years in jail for one back shot. Charmaine, you hearing me? Ooh, Charmaine, are you hearing me? Lawrence said deflated ego kills a man's drive to be really effective in a sexual encounter. Yeah. Anytime his ego is deflated, that hard for a man. Once you deflate his ego, and nothing else inflates. Everything else deflates. Alright. So she says that sometimes the man wants to spice things up. And just because he wants to do something new, do not take it personally. He said it is important for you to be able to make sure you know what your comfort zone is, and don't go and do something that you feel the position might be dangerous to your back. You might pull a muscle. Don't hang on no rafter if you're 50-something years old. Don't try to hang from no roof. Don't climb no pole. It's not a comfort zone. You're not an electricity worker, so you don't have to climb no pole. Find what you can do, but whatever it is you can do, just go ahead and do it. Okay, my people? Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Charmaine. Charmaine says she hear loud and clear. Nice. So, nobody should ever feel obligated to do anything they don't want to do when it comes to bed, intimacy, and sex. So don't think that you have to make those big compromises. Make some adjustments, yes. Make some compromise, yes. But don't put yourself and cut your nose and spoil your face. He said, if your man asks you about trying something that's outside of your morals, make it clear that it's off limits for you and explain why. If he asks you to swallow, you might not like that. Feel free to say, no, I'm not doing that, I'm unable to, and so on. I would love to please you, but that one is difficult for me. Just be nice about it. So, of course, do this in a loving way, she says, as best as you can. If it is something that is not really a moral issue for you, but you still don't want to, also explain why. And there are sometimes you don't want it, you don't like it, but you want to give it a try because you want to be able to please your spouse. And that is okay. So it is simply making sure that you consider the request and you make a judgment call on it. Right? Let him know you need some time. Sometimes you might have to say, listen, I want to think about that one because that one is a little difficult. Now, I know that there are some real crazy requests that I hear some spouses come and make of their partner. One request that I hear they say is for them to have 2 some and 3 some, and some even go as far as 4 some. What do you think it is? A football match? Is a playing field? You have no. You could mash your brakes there. Yeah. Now you see, Charmaine, you're using some phrase there. I think I ain't learned in that one. Frosting is not only for cake. Frosting. I know what that one is at all, Charmaine. You might have to help me. Either post it there or post it on my WhatsApp there for me. Frosting is not only for cake. Frosting. Yeah, me there. You're showing up my ignorance. Alright. Bam. 9 o'clock. 7 minutes after 9. We're down to the bottom of the hour. Hi people, thank you all so much for joining me. Just remember, I'm in St. Kitts, lovely island, and let me say hello to all the Kittitians and innovations. Lovely place. Boy, I tell you, they have a lookout that sees the Atlantic and the Caribbean Sea coming together. Awesome. There's a fort that is high up in the sky. Sometimes the clouds join the mountain. But I tell you, I don't know. I don't know why people just try to go these far off places, spend the money, when there's so many nice places right here in the Caribbean. Nice people. Anyway, I said what I said, and I mean it. I'm Michael Stewart. Good evening now. See you all next week, Thursday, God's willing.